Welcome back, my friends, to the Python Made Easy series. Today we look at ternary operators. We'll see what they are, how they work, how to use them, and we'll see plenty of examples. A Python ternary operator is also known as a conditional expression. It's a pattern of coding when a value is assigned to a variable conditionally based on the result of a given expression. It was added to Python back in version 2.4. So here is an example of the syntax. We have a variable, the underscore value equals A if A is less than B, else B. Said another way, return true if test, else false. And it could be looked at as the equivalency of this if statement here. If A is less than B, the underscore value equals A, else the underscore value will equal B. We can think of it as a simple two-way branch if on just one line. So how do ternary operators work? Let's look at this first example here. We have A equals 4, B equals 5, then we have our conditional expression, aka our ternary operator, the underscore value equals A if A is less than B, else B, and then we print the value equal A and the value equal B, and we see that it comes back true and false. Okay, so what happens? The condition, the if statement in the middle of this conditional expression is evaluated first. If A is less than B, that's the first thing evaluated. If that evaluates to true, the expression to its left is then evaluated, and that is the underscore value equals A. If that statement is false, the expression after the if statement is evaluated. So you see the first one returns true because A was less than 4. The variable, the value does equal A. And of course the second one was false because it doesn't equal B. We can write it all in one line like this in a print statement. A, variable A, if A is less than B, else B. What does it return? A, assuming the values are A equals 4 and B equals 5. Here's another ternary operator example written in a slightly different form. We have y equals 14 and z equals 17, and then we have our ternary operator inside a print statement. So this is written in a mapping dictionary-like form, all on one line within the print statement. What happens here? At the end, y is greater than z is our test condition. So we evaluate, is y greater than z? If that evaluates to true, the value of the key for y, which happens to be 14, will be printed out. If it's false, the value for the key of z, which happens to be 17, will be printed out, and that's exactly what happens here in the output. One last slide to go over here. First a caution and then another example. A book that I rely upon, the Python Essential Reference, quite often, its 4th edition, has a word of caution on conditional expressions or ternary operators. It says, conditional expressions should probably be used sparingly because they can lead to confusion, especially if they are nested or mixed with other complicated expressions. However, one particularly useful application is in list comprehensions or generator expressions. Now, if you've been with me through this whole series thus far, we've already covered list comprehensions when we talked about lists. Generator expressions, we'll be getting to those in a few presentations from now. But let's look here and see this. Let's see two examples. One in which we use a list comprehension in conjunction with conditional statements, and one where we don't. The Python Essential Reference says this is a good application for conditional expressions, and I agree. So here we have a tuple, foodies, with some of my favorite foods in there, except for bean sprouts, maybe not my favorite. So in example number 1, we use a list comprehension to convert that tuple into a list called foodies underscore lists. And you see when we do it, our first printout here is tofu tempeh, bean sprouts, cauliflower crust, pizza. So it's all exactly the same as the elements you would see in the foodies tuple. Next, we're going to use list comprehension in conjunction with a conditional statement. So what is our conditional statement in number 2? And I'm talking about the my underscore food underscore list comprehension. The conditional statement is if food does not equal bean sprouts. The rest is the same. So it's putting a condition on it. It says create a list from this foodies tuple, but don't include the element if it's equal to bean sprouts. And that's exactly what happens here. We get, instead of the 4 elements, we get the 3, and the one that is missing satisfies the conditional statement.